Can you tell us a bit about yourself? Have you always been interested in acting?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always enjoyed and wanted to act. So I've been doing it as sort of a hobby for a couple of decades now. My background is mostly in improvisational things and stage combat, but now I've started to recently drift toward film roles. So I'm very excited about that.
What about Vampira captured your interest the most, and what are you most excited about with the project?
Well, I get to play a creepy, terrible old vampire. So I'm excited about that. Actually, I've always been interested in that kind of role, and so to get a chance to do it on a screen is exciting, and such a talented group of people to work with it just makes it more so.
Do you have any experience playing a vampire or other villainous characters?
I do, as a matter of fact. I once portrayed the rock god version of Lestat for a particular event, and I've tend to play villainous roles. There's something about it because I have to admit that I do enjoy being creepy.
Are there any movies or stories that inspire you within the genre?
Absolutely. So I've loved vampires since I was a kid, reading Dracula and then into Anne Rice. It's hard for me to find a vampire movie I don't love. Queen of the Damned even is one of my favorites. So John Carpenter's vampires, Dracula, you name it. I love the genre, so very excited.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience or potential backers?
Absolutely. Yeah, I really hope, especially from a backer perspective, that appreciate any support that you can give this group of people, because it is a talented and passionate group, and what we're going to produce is going to have all the heart and passion that we can put into it. So I'm excited about this project, and I really hope that we can excite you for it as well, because it's going to be good.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself? How did you get interested in acting?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Hazlet, New Jersey. Still live there now. I started out in theater. So as a kid, I tried to be in every play I could, starting with like Beauty and the Beast, and then throughout high school. Then I went to school for musical theater, and during my junior and senior year of college, I realized I really wanted to get into film.
What drew your interest in the project and the script for Vampira?
Ooh, so one thing I really liked was the characters. I've always loved Gothic vampire stories. I think they're really captivating. And really the strength of Dakota's character really stood out to me.
What are you most excited about when it comes to portraying this character?
So I really love how conflicted she is. I feel like there will be so many mixed emotions to portray for her, because she has this love for this person, but at the same time it's super toxic, and she's trying to get herself out of a bad situation. So I think that portraying such a strong and complex character will be a lot of fun.
What is a favorite horror movie or story of yours that inspires you within the genre?
So I really love Scream, the 1996 one. That's definitely a favorite of mine. Love a good final girl. Yeah, and love horror films in general.
Is there any final thoughts you'd want to tell the audience or the potential backers?
Well, thank you everyone for watching this video, for looking at the campaign page. We have a really great team here. It's going to be such a fun project to work on and super worthwhile to support.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and the background of Spillage Studios?
So ever since I started picking up a camera when I was around 10 or 11, I always knew I wanted to be a filmmaker. It started with just making like films in my backyard, just with our friends in the neighborhood. Then it got to middle school and high school, where I started writing, every single day, just writing scripts, no matter how bad they were, no matter how good. It just became like an obsession after that. So really this past year, me and my two good friends, Cole and Ethan, we decided to start this channel called Spillage Studios, with the goal in mind to eventually make films, and this is our first time giving a shot at it.
What does the project mean to you, and why do you want to make it?
Well, I've always wanted to make films, so it was just a given that this was eventually going to be, the end goal, to make films, and we really had to get people with the right state of mind to hey, this is our goal to eventually make a film, get into film festivals, get our names out there. And this is our first shot, and feel confident that we're going to make something good on the big screen.
Can you tell us a bit about your inspirations for the project and what the story means to you?
So I had a ton of inspirations for this. Mostly the writing comes down to a lot of Eggers' writing. John Carpenter is one of my all-time inspirations. Halloween's my favorite film of all time. So those are some of the big directors I look to: Eggers, Carpenter, Spielberg too. Just basically all the great directors. And but yeah, for this film specifically, it's a lot of Eggers. I think The Witch and Nosferatu were like huge inspirations for writing this, and some of the early 80s films. Possession was another big inspiration, and classic Gothic cinema, so like The Innocents and Bram Stoker's Dracula.
What are you most excited about when it comes to Vampira?
I'm most excited for we have an awesome cast, and I think if you really like creepy Gothic vampires, I think you're going to be in for a treat. I think you guys will really like our cast and what they can bring to the table.
What is your biggest personal goal with Vampira, and overall, what are you hoping to achieve through the project?
Well, my personal goals for everyone involved just to get our names out there and show that we're working on something pretty cool, and I want audiences to see the hard work that we put in and, show that we can go make films in the future.
Are there any final thoughts or a message you'd like to get across to anyone looking to back and support the project?
Yeah, indie filmmakers, it's already tough enough. A lot of it comes down to self-funding, and crowdfunding's a huge, big factor of how we can even make this film possible. So if you want to support local indie filmmakers, please feel free to donate. Any contribution greatly helps.